Here we go. Thanks for jumping in. Hey, you know, just like most of us growing up, we had a lot of sayings in our house. One of them was over the hill and through the woods. And what that meant is you had quite a task in front of you. And I just went over the hill and through the woods with 100 episodes. Whoop, whoop. So this is the 101st episode. And when I started this project, I had no plan. I just had a vision. And with a lot of help from a lot of people, here I am today, and you're listening to the 101st episode. I can't express the amount of gratitude that I have for everybody that helped me get here, and for all of the support from everybody listening that I've gotten. So much love. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're going to get onto this because I could talk about myself all day. You know that. Today's episode was a long time coming. We were going back and forth trying to figure out a way to get it videoed and obviously audio recorded. But if you're listening to this, there's no video yet. I need to edit it. So that might take a few minutes, and I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, but I'm going to do the best I can, obviously, for you all. But I wanted to get this episode out because I'm excited. Mark is such a good dude. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, get your ass over there. It's on my website, waltzkitchentable.com. Everything you need to know about the show and where you can listen is there as well. You want to come on as a guest, would love to hear from you. You can contact me there or Instagram, WKT Podcast, and I answer all my DMs personally. All right, man. Before I do introduce it, obviously, I got to give a shout out to Live Rishi. These guys make high quality CBD product, and I've been using them for a very, very long time. They keep my joints and muscles going and me in a smooth mood, because chasing my son around and being a gym rat, I demand quite a bit from my body. So check these guys out, liverishi.com. Use the code word TABLE50 and you're going to get 50% off your entire order. And that'll let them know I sent you. Let's get on to this thing. Welcome to Walt's Kitchen Table, where I feature captivating stories from fascinating people. Mark, super cool dude. That's the best way I can describe him. You gotta, the link's in the show notes. You gotta get hold of this dude, because once you hear about his project, you're gonna wanna be part of it. A couple of points about Mark: family dude, business owner, and it's got a very inspiring story about some weight loss. But his projects with strangers is phenomenal, and this is what originally connected us back in the day. True pleasure sitting down with this guy, and this is the start of a long, very long-term relationship. And of course, he's welcome back anytime he wants. And his story about his project and how it got started and what his vision is for it, you know what? I'm just going to let him tell you all about it. Let's get to it. I don't know why do they think they came up with liquid death?
They got really high on a mountain once.
Fell over
And said, hey, we should start a water company.
And market it so it looks like a beer can. Because then everybody will buy it.
It feels like there's a lot of witchery behind this brand.
That means somebody got high as fuck and did it.
Yeah.
Right?
Because, I mean, I've seen this can around, and I never think water. In my brain, as I'm drinking this, doesn't register water.
Yeah,
it's like you're drinking a flat beer with no flavor.
Oh, that's exactly. You know what? That's a good explanation, because like you said earlier, you're like, I expect there to be a flavor.
Yeah.
Like when I go and drink it, I think there's going to be like bubbly or something. Or it does taste like a flat beer.
I think this company is just one big troll.
Well, that's a good way. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. But I see it everywhere, and God bless. You know, that's one thing great about America.
Yeah.
They can do that, and people are buying it.
And we can talk about it.
And we can, Actually, their marketing's working, because we're talking about it and we're drinking it.
Bastards.
Sons of bitches, they got me.
They got me.
All right, dude, we're going to get on to this show. I've been recording for a while. After some major technical problems. So thanks for your patience.
Oh, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I know it's been a long time, but my disclaimer is now that everything you say is going to be on the internet.
Yes.
Bam.
Amazing.
You're already all over to the internet, dude.
Maybe here in Jersey at the tannery. I'm all over, but
Dude, I see you all over the internet. Come on, man.
Yeah.
So people that are listening and watching, if you're just listening to this on audio like Spotify or wherever you watch it, we're in a cool setup at the tannery where I used to work and had great memories and a lot of fun.
Nice.
There was a ton of working hard, yelling, crying, laughing, the whole thing, man. So hooked up with Ash, lady we used to work with, and she's filming all this. So shout out to her. Thank you.
Thank you, Ash.
And again, if you're just watching this on audio like Spotify or something, jump over to my YouTube and sign your ass up. Jesus, just hit the damn subscribe button. You're already subscribed to like 168 things on YouTube. So what's another one? Just click the damn subscribe button.
Delete them all and just follow this guy.
There, that's perfect. You don't have a YouTube channel yet?
I do, but I don't do anything.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we won't give it a shout out because we don't want people going over there and just do an empty page.
I mean, you could come and follow. I'm just not going to pay attention to you. You know?
Perfect. Dude, what is it with the table out in the middle of the woods?
That's the best place to meet people.
So how far out in the middle of the woods is that?
This is Wantage, some property. How do you say that town? Is it Wantage?
I have
Up north New Jersey.
Dude, there are so many damn towns in New Jersey.
Yeah.
I have no idea, man.
Wantage. Wantage.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
That's how you spell it.
Okay, yeah, I'm the world's worst speller other than Ash, so I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with sure. Yeah, we're gonna spell it that way. What made you do that? Just put a table out in the middle.
I was actually invited to an event a few years back called Source, and it was their annual reunion or their annual celebration of that event.
Okay.
And they were hosting it in some guy's property. He had a bunch of acres, and he had a whole bunch of different vendors, music, bands, food, all that stuff. So he invited me out, and I just parked my sign there, and whoever came walking the trail, there I was. Come take a selfie.
So it wasn't like a festival in the woods. You walked along this trail. It was like a 3-mile trail or something.
The property was booked for this specific event.
Okay.
And, they had vendors and all that good stuff. So he invited me out, and I was there.
That's super fun. But now people are probably wondering, the fuck are you talking about? The table out in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
You got to explain what the hell you do. Because I tried to explain it. I was telling people you were coming on.
Yeah.
And I tried to explain it. And
the simplest way to explain this thing is just one clear sentence. I take selfies with strangers. Yeah, and that's it.
Well, I understand that. And that's what I tell them. But then they're like, for what?
Because. Well, the objective is to meet 1 million people.
Okay.
Right? So that kind of grounds them into an understanding of what the project is about. So I'm going out there, meeting 1 million people, taking a selfie with all of them, and then archiving the whole experience for anyone else to come in and take a look.
Now, do you just walk like through Times Square and go, hey, man, you want to take a selfie with me?
Oh, I hate New York. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
No.
I'm just looking at numbers, man.
Yeah, numbers.
I mean, if you're looking at 1 million.
Yeah. There are I believe, 8 to 9 million people here in Jersey, and 11% would meet my goal here. But I have done a few events in New York City where I met 600 people in 2 days. And I almost died.
And they walk up and you take a selfie and that's it?
I'm soliciting. I'm walking up to them with my sign that says I take selfies with strangers. They'll look at me, make eye contact, and chuckle at themselves, and then they'll participate.
Now, do you get people that are like, you're a fucking weirdo, get away from me?
They never tell me. But I'm assuming.
Well, I was going to say, most communication is nonverbal, dude.
Yeah, and I'm oblivious to most of it. But no, anyone who actually comes across the sign gets a chuckle out of it, and they're happy to participate.
And then what got you on that?
Well, the origin story of the whole thing was I was actually watching this documentary from Tony Robbins, I'm Not Your Guru, right? And then somewhere along the video, there was a voiceover clip from Ellen DeGeneres, and she said, Tony Robbins has helped hundreds of millions of people throughout the world. And then it dawned on me. I'm like, how many of those people has he actually met, though? All of these people that he's helped, right?
Okay.
And then right there, I went on Instagram, got the name, and then I started. It was that simple. It was no hurrah moment other than
You just
how many people has he actually met? And do people actually go out there deliberately trying to meet people outside of networking or just...
So you just want to meet people just to meet people?
I want to create a big body of work. I want to meet people to know people.
All right, that's cool.
And I guess this is, in my position is, we do this already. Everyone's coming across thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people throughout their lives. And I'm just trying to capture some of that and say, hey, here's this dude who visibly can prove that he's come across all these people. Maybe I should get out of my house and try the same, or something like that.
All right, I like it. I like it. The video that you had with the high fives on the escalator, that was classic. How'd you come up with that?
That was fun. That was on a whim, actually.
Where was it?
It was the Javits Center in New York.
So for people that, you got to go on his Instagram. Link will be in the show notes. But he's at the top, right? You were at the top?
Yeah.
So
I'm at the base level, I guess. There's a basement and then there's a second floor, I guess.
Yeah, but you're top of the escalator.
Top of the escalator.
So people coming up, he had his camera facing himself, so it was like taking a selfie, and he had his hand out with and it was written on your hand, right?
Yeah, I Sharpied just the word hi and then the number 5.
And dude,
it was great. It was great.
I couldn't stop watching it. It was pretty cool, man. So you got to go over and check it out. How long did you stay there?
About 2 minutes.
That was it?
That's it.
You afraid somebody's going to come and...
No. I was there to enjoy the convention. That would have been my 3rd year going to Comic-Con on behalf of the project to meet people.
Okay.
First year, 600 people, almost died. Second year, about 250 people, a little bit more quality experience and time with each individual.
Right.
This year, where I did the high five, I didn't give a shit about it, meeting a damn person, and that's where most of the magic took place in my Comic-Con saga.
When you stop caring about, when you stop putting pressure on yourself about it, right?
Right.
Yeah. So with 600 people, were you trying to have a meaningful conversation, and then it just kicked your ass, or you just shake a hand, take a selfie, move on? Well,
in the beginning, it was about numbers for me, because when I was considering meeting 1 million people, I'm like, fuck.
All right, so many to multiply that, divide that by 12.
It's going to take time. Like, when will I be done? How old will I be? And I'm like, dude, I got to meet 1,000 people this weekend. And I'm thinking, all right, there's tens of thousands of people coming here in the next 4 days. I can easily meet 1,000 people.
Yeah.
No, I was just, shotgun blasting everything and trying to meet as many people as I possibly can. No handshakes, just, hey, you're in cosplay. You qualify to take a picture. Here's my card. Let me follow you on Instagram. And that was pretty much it.
That was it. That was it. A selfie, and that was it.
That was it.
So with these selfies, where are you putting them all? You gonna make like a collage about them or something?
Yeah. Eventually, we'll be opening up a physical gallery where people can come and visit and see the whole thing. But now it's on my website, pretty much the full gallery, at least the ones that we've counted, because I don't know where we are. And I just use Instagram as a means of
capturing it and advertising, right?
And communicating with everybody.
Yeah. So what are some of the crazy questions they ask you? Like, why do you want to take a picture with me? And then you got to explain each time?
No, I've never actually had to explain that question because I'm upfront with everything. My sign, I'm forward with it. I take selfies with strangers, and they get it. What they normally inquire about is like, why are you doing this?
Right.
That's the one. And I don't necessarily have a why just yet. It's just fun to do.
Yeah. And like you said, it gets you out of the house, right?
It gets me out of the house, and there's no shortage of fun when you go out there and just interacting with people. I mean, you speak to people all the time, and you're hearing all their stories. All of a sudden, you have a piece of them with you forever.
So what you're doing is just on a bigger scale than what I'm doing. I spend more time with somebody. Like you and I are going to sit here for a while, but my numbers won't be nowhere near as big as 1 million. Well, eventually, maybe. Whew, that might take a while.
It's time.
Yeah.
It's time, right? Like, I look at it as like reverse engineering a following. Where I'm going out to meet fans that don't know will become acquaintances of mine.
Right.
And I don't befriend everybody, nothing like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, oh, geez, dude. Yeah.
No, you're dealing with people.
I don't blame you there, dude. There's some people I'm like, all right, moving on, next.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, they do make the gallery, and some people don't make the gallery.
You get people that like you take their picture, you guys take a picture together, and you're like, I'm going to post this, and they're like, no, you're not. I don't give you permission.
I have a file with specifically with those.
It happens a lot.
Happens more often than not, but they're usually for serious reasons. Like, I don't necessarily want to get into it too much, but they don't want to be seen online because party A or party B might see it and get mad at them.
Oh, I thought you were going to go like they were the CIA or something.
No. I'm sure there's an undercover utility to the project, but
yeah, exactly. Facebook's going to buy it from you and be like facial recognition.
Like, no, Mark. I'll take a selfie with Mark, but
no, you can't afford that.
No,
he'd probably charge you an arm and a leg.
Probably.
Yeah. All right, dude. Where's the next one you're going?
Well, I'm actually planning a tour of New Jersey now, and then I'll be doing county by county.
And then where do you go? Just like the park or a bar or
wherever there's high traffic. So I'll crash parties. I'll go to festivals.
Dude, you've crashed a party?
Oh yeah, I've crashed Indian wedding bridal parties. I've crashed like
wait,
sip nights.
Wait, hold on a second, dude. Hold on. The Indian wedding, dude. We got to get into this. They didn't know you were coming. Like the bride or groom didn't know you were coming.
No, not. It was a bridal party. So
bridal party. Right.
So they were doing a paint and sip night. So it was just all ladies.
Yeah.
Right, and I knew the host, the artist who was hosting the event. And this was relatively early on. She was like, "I love this project. I love this idea." And I met like 3 people at that point, and she invites me out. She stops the whole party, announces that I'm there, and then everyone's like, okay, you can take a selfie with everyone. And then 47 people later in 2 minutes. And then
just
I leave.
Snap, and
I leave.
Throw a card out and leave?
I didn't even have cards at that point.
Here, follow me on Instagram. I'll tag you.
Exactly. Like, it's a lot of learning curves in the beginning on how to, archive the data and like store the data and like harvest the data, the information, just to keep in contact with everybody, because I'm building something on their likeness, so I have to have some means of getting back to them. And
Google spreadsheet, right?
Pretty much.
Right. All right. And then the ultimate goal is to have basically artwork to inspire people to get off their ass and go do something.
I would say ultimately.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that dumbing it down, or that's pretty close?
No, I mean, I have a lot of plans for this thing.
All right.
Both on the altruistic side and then on the business side too, because I'm like, there's a lot of utility in both parts of life here. Why? Because I'm coming across a lot of people, and I meet a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business owners, and I'm like, I would love to promote you to these people.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
And then all of a sudden it becomes this self-fulfilling machine.
So you're going to be one of those guys. I'd networked forever, and I got to tell you, I don't miss it at all.
No.
I love it, because I like going out. I'm an extrovert. I like going out and doing that shit, but once I got away from it, and I'm like, this is amazing.
I can breathe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Whew, I don't have to be like, hi, how are you? And actually care what.
Right. I won't be joining a chamber of commerce, if that's what you mean.
No. Good boy. Good. Yeah. I don't blame you there. No. But so are you going to be one of those guys that says, hey, I can connect you and this is how much I'll charge you if you connect to these guys?
No, I don't
think so. It won't be one of those gimmicks?
No.
Okay.
It's a, hey, I'm going to this convention. I know the owner. I think you'd have a good time. I'm going to be there. Come if you want. That type of thing. If I happen to appreciate or condone whatever I'm promoting.
Okay. All right. And then people look at the artwork and say, kind of a humanity thing, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
They just see this big pixelated, image of one dude coming across
a million
people. It's like, and then, okay, well then, if he can do it, introvert who's locked in his basement, who's afraid of human contact, and be like, do I really have an excuse?
All right. I like it. It's kind of the inspiration I try to give people about my back. you know, I had a back injury, went through some stuff, and I tell that story on other shows, and I talk about it on this one too. But if one person can be like, that dude did it, oh man, I can do that.
Right.
You know, same type of thing, right? Now, do you if you're walking through the mall, do you just stop somebody and be like, hey man, do you want to take is it unsolicited? Do you do that unsolicited?
No, I go out there with intention. Like if I'm out in the wild, I'm wearing something that'll attract some type of attention that lets them know what I'm doing. But if I'm out just doing my own thing, I don't talk to anyone.
Oh, okay. Now, and you haven't had anybody come up to you and be like, hey, aren't you that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit. No,
yeah,
good good job, man. You're doing it.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Like I've had a few cases where I'm doing an event and then somebody shows up and they're like, aren't you? I'm like,
oh shit.
I'm not here as the guy. I'm here.
There's nothing wrong with that, though.
Nothing wrong. But I do run into people that I have met before and I've taken a selfie and they're like, hey, Mark, what's up? And then, you know, we'll go out or something.
Yeah, but isn't that the ultimate goal? Connections?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, would somebody listening now, if they go, hey, man, I'm going to get a hold of this dude because I'm having a big business. Well, no, you know what? You know what a strolling magician is? Like at a party?
No.
Like at a big corporate event, they'll have a magician that walks through the crowd. Mm. And if me, you, and 3 other dudes are standing there, he'll be like, hey, man, you guys want to see a trick? And he'll show us a trick. Then he'll go to the next person, and then he'll go to the next person. Okay, strolling magician, right? Would you do that at a corporate event?
I'm intrigued to do that.
Yeah. That's what I'm wondering if like, you know, some corporate lawyer team or something had some event and there's 1,000 people there, you know, and they mingle and have like a happy hour type thing before the conference. During that happy hour type thing, you'd have like a table set up and then you'd stroll around and be like, hey man, I take a...
Yeah, I'd probably have a little setup. And then if the setup doesn't work, I'll just go and infiltrate the crowds.
Yeah.
And then just say, here's what I'm doing. Here's my sign. And they're like, oh shit. Okay, that's great.
Would you have like a little sign like
I have
on
a cardboard
stick?
Sign that I laser cut. I take selfies with strangers. And then I have a couple lanyards that say the same thing.
Okay, so it doesn't look like a homeless sign?
No. It's cardboard, but it's laser cut.
Okay. Anything, I'll take anything. Because where I work in Jersey City, so every single light, there's a homeless dude coming up knocking on the window, wanting something, right? And when I stop at 7-Eleven, a lot of times they're bananas. They're 2 for $1, and a lot of times they'll be 4 for $1 because they want to clean them out. And I'll get $2-3 worth, and I'll have them in the middle of my rig. I drive a work truck, and I'll pull up there. I'm like, I ain't got no money, but you want a banana?
Here's some food.
And he's like, nah, I'm good, dude. I'm like, yeah, you fucking motherfucker. Yeah. I won't give if they come up and just beg for money, I don't give them money. But there's a group of ladies that sell homemade tamales in a bottle of water for like $3 or $5 or something like that. And I think that's pretty cool because they're actually out there hustling and doing something. I sure the fuck ain't going to eat it because I don't know where the hell that's been cooked.
Right.
But I buy it from them, and then like 6 blocks later, I give it to the homeless dude on the corner. So that's my contribution because I don't, those guys, they probably make more money than you and I do combined.
You just don't know what they're going to do with it.
Right? Yeah. They're fine, dude. Most of the people just want to go on the nod with it. Yeah. So to each their own. But I don't need to support it. And a great conversation I was having with my brother this morning that there's this podcast I've been listening to for a couple of years. And they came out with another series, same podcast, but they're like, hey, we're going to go on this like 4-part series. And I was like, man, I don't like, I just didn't like it. Subject, we won't get into it. But I was like, I'm going to give it another episode because these guys have been so good and I've enjoyed them for so long. And then didn't like it. So guess what? I turned it off. I didn't jump on the internet and be like, you need to take these guys off the internet. I just turned it off, man. Click. done.
Very, very human of you.
I know, isn't that great? It's like those posts. Be more like Walt. You see something he doesn't like, he keeps moving.
Right.
You know?
I share those.
Yeah. I like those too.
Yeah.
But where are you living now?
I'm in North Brunswick.
Oh man, that's a nice town.
Yeah, it's a little town.
You like that?
Yeah.
Does your house flood every time it rains?
No. We're not in Manville or.
Well, pretty much all of Jersey's in a damn flood zone.
Well, I think North Brunswick is swampland.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody I've ever known in North Brunswick, they're like, it just missed a little bit, and I have 7 inches of water in my basement.
Yeah.
So you're
a canoe.
Put a canoe in the basement. Because we were looking for a house, and we found one. But over the last year and a half, most of them, flood zone. So we're like, okay, we can deal with it. The last time it flooded was 10 years ago, right? Insurance, an additional $2,500 a year. You're like, what? No, I'm good.
Thanks, Florida.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Where's your next stop, man?
Next stop? I don't know, to be honest with you.
You don't have like it all planned out, just if something comes on a whim?
Yeah, I have a few events that I want to go to that I'm working with the owners to let me in, because it's kind of a negotiation because they don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah. I could see where people are like, what the, you fucking weirdo?
Yeah, but like 9 times out of 10, they're like, oh, yeah, you can come in. You can come take pictures. That's great. Just tag us in everything you do.
Well, I think that's.
Yeah.
They're just looking for volume at that point.
Yeah. And when I say, I'm trying to meet 1 million people, they're like, oh, great. Wide eyes. It's crazy.
Yeah. That is a pretty, was the goal bigger than that originally?
No, it never surpassed 1 million. And a day after I decided to meet 1 million people, I brought it down to 10,000. Because I was like, no, this is insane. Why? Why are you going to do this shit? Yeah, and then I'm like, well, who gives a shit about 10,000? I can do that tomorrow. And then it went up to 100,000. And I'm like, all right, this is a little bit more reasonable. And then a couple months later, I was like, nah, just stick to the 1 million, and then haven't looked back.
Just going full throttle.
Yeah.
You're going to go abroad and do it?
I plan on recruiting. I'm stopping after 1 million.
No, to get to 1 million.
Oh,
abroad, like go over to England.
I'll do some things over there, but I want to keep it here in Jersey. I want to just meet 1 million people here in this area.
Okay.
And then recruit and have other people in other states doing the same.
Kind of like a networking event or networking thing.
Just to see what happens.
You charge them for it?
For
starting a group in like Omaha, Nebraska? Be like, hey man, you want to take
no, I would pay them.
You would pay them?
I would pay them to do it.
Oh, shit, dude.
Yeah.
I have to get your information when we're done. Get you in the checkbook, or get me on the checkbook.
Yeah. I mean, I figured just figure out the model here and how to do it. And like I said, there's other utility to it. I think it'd be cool to see who's going to meet 2 million people, who would do 10 million, who can do that.
Right.
I'm done after 1 million.
No, you're not. We're going to look back at this, and you're like, I'm done after 1 million. 6.5 million people later, I'll be like, dude, I thought you were done, bro.
I am. They just didn't stop calling.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Dude, were you always in New Jersey? Where the hell did you grow up?
Born and raised.
Oh, I'm sorry, bud. They say that New Jersey's biggest export is people.
Yeah.
And I'm the dumbass that came here. No, I love it here.
You weren't born here?
No, I was born in upstate New York.
Okay.
Yeah. And then went out to Colorado. And then met Ash, and that brought me over here, and we worked together for so many years. I don't even know how many years it was. I stopped counting. So, again, like we said earlier, had a lot of fun, hollering and screaming, laughing, worked hard. Woo, boy, did we work hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, we were talking about earlier, man, she says she's lazy, but that's hard working. She's super hard working. So you want to check out her stuff. She does a lot of super cool. She's got a passion for true crime.
Okay.
So she does a lot of cool documentaries, like miniseries and documentaries, like trying to solve a crime.
Wow.
like talking about it and then actually trying to solve it, not just.
That's heavy work, man.
Yeah, right?
Wow.
Yeah, she's always had a passion for it, so it's cool to see that all come full circle.
Nice.
And then I don't know if I was considered an extra, but I was in one of her mini series that hadn't come out yet. So
that's right.
Yeah, we weren't going to talk about it. So, but I just again, the links in the show notes, so you see all the stuff that she's about. So, but no prospects to leave Jersey. What do you do for a living?
I own a real estate investment firm. That's what I do. That's my big boy job.
That's your big. Yeah, that's your adult. That's what you do to adult.
Yeah.
Right.
It pays the bills, does stuff for me. But
is that why you can pay people in other states to do projects with strangers?
No, not yet. Not yet. they're going to want 6 figures for it easy. No, but that's what I do, and I'm inching my way towards doing this full time.
No shit.
No.
All right, because we were trying to do this, but in a winery. Don't you have a connection with a winery or something?
Yeah. I actually part time as a winemaker as well.
Damn, dude.
So
you like making wine?
I do. Grew up making shitty wine, but now I'm being taught how to make good wine.
I grew up drinking shitty wine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Boone's Farm, baby.
Boone's Farm.
Do you know how many dates I went on with Boone's Farm? Do you know what Boone's Farm is?
I don't.
Oh my God, you don't know what Boone's Farm is? Holy cow.
I think you just, I was assuming you just named the place you lived in upstate. It's just
Boone's Farm, Boone's Farm, yeah. No, it's like a normal size wine bottle, basically. And I think the expensive one was $2.50. Yeah. Strawberry something.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's
hey,
crazy.
the girls liked it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got all shined up. Bring my Boone's Farm.
Nice. I'm classy.
I'm exactly, because it's not Mad Dog 2020.
Yeah.
You know what that is, right?
I've heard of it.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah, that's no.
No.
What kind of wine you make?
Just red wines, white wines.
Right.
We do a little bit of everything. Stuff from California, South Africa, South America.
Now, when you say you from South America, it means you get the product from South America and then make the wine here.
Order the grapes. They come up here, and then we make them.
All right.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's like a hands-on winery. You come in and make the wine yourself, and we just steward the whole thing for you.
Oh, so I've seen those with beer, where you come in and make your own beer. Same type of thing, just wine instead. They give you all the ingredients and the place to do it, and you create it, and then you come back like 8 weeks later when it's done, and then
something like that. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's like a year-long process. You come in, grapes come in, you come in, crush the whole thing, and then you come in for a few more steps throughout the year, and then after 12 months, you come in and bottle, take it home.
Dude, so the first thing that came to mind was somebody bringing their girlfriend for a date to do that, and then after a year, they're not together anymore.
They get upset at the labels they printed.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
right?
No.
Hey, man, how many times the guy comes in, changes the name of the woman, or the woman changes the name of the guy? Like, hey, man, can you make that Ryan instead of Bob?
I got to ask Ed if he's ever experienced that. That's interesting.
That's the first thing that came to my mind was
That's
like, because I was like, oh, man, that'd be cool. I'll bring my wife, kind of like a date night. We'll come up and we'll make wine. I don't drink, but she loves drinking wine.
Yeah.
So that'd be kind of fun. Something different.
Cool. Yeah, season's coming up now.
All right. I'll have to, she'll really like that. Because what we do, I've talked about it on the show quite a bit, but there's a lot of new listeners, so that's always a good thing. But what my wife and I do, because when we first started dating, we were just busy all the time. I was working with Ash in the video company. She was at a web design company.
Okay.
We were networking in the morning, working during the day, networking at night, getting work done at night, 7 days a week. We're always busy. So I'm like, man, when are we going to go out? So I was like, I got it. I sent her a calendar invite, and all it said was surprise date with Walt. And that's the only detail I gave her.
So mysterious.
Yeah, I know. And we've been doing it ever since.
Oh,
we still do. Yeah, we still do it. Excuse me.
How long you been together?
Oh, shit. Good thing she don't listen to these. 8 years?
8 years. Wow. It's a big
Yeah.
deal.
And one of the very first surprise dates I sent her was an overnight. Yep. It took 2 days. I sent her the invite for 2 days, a Friday and a Saturday, and it was down in Atlantic City to go mess around. And then we saw a concert.
Nice.
And I come back, the next day. But I was like, just pack a bag. Let's go.
That's cool.
And we're flying, we're driving down to Atlantic City. And she realized where we're going, right? She's like, where are we staying? I go, I ain't got a clue. I go, I figure it's Atlantic City. There's hotel rooms everywhere, That's cool. We start looking. Nothing, dude.
Nothing.
Conference. Everything's booked up. So just as we roll into town, we find this room at a Howard Johnson's.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're just going to leave that. That was absolutely disgusting, dude.
That's AC for you.
Oh, my God. That place was... We came in at like 9 o'clock at night because we did a bunch of shit and we just went to the room. We're like, we're just going to stay here for... Dropped off our stuff and I stood in the middle of the room and I'm like... Went in the bathroom, opened the curtain. I'm like, okay, so won't be showering in the morning. Had this smell, dude. Because every hotel room, like cheap hotel room...
Has a scent.
Yeah. Right? Sometimes it's not bad, but it's a scent.
It's not good.
Right. It's not like, 5-star hotel, but so you come to expect that.
Yeah.
But this place, man, it was, yeah, but by the time we got back from the concert, and I was fucking barbecued because I was still drinking and drugging and shit back then. So that was so it didn't matter at that point. I just crashed and we got up at 6 o'clock in the morning, got the hell out of there. But that Howard Johnson, dude, whoo! I'm more of like just fly by the seat of my pants and we figure it out.
Yeah.
And my wife is like
calculated
to the minute. Yeah. We what was it? The first or second? No, it'd have to be the third Christmas we were together because we met right before Christmas. So she's like, hey. All these friends are having parties. Let's, I want to go to this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, right? And she's like, all right, Saturday, this one's at 4, so we'll stay till 5. Then we'll, I mapped it out. It takes 20 minutes to get to the next one. So if latest we leave by 5:10, we'll get there, 5:30, 5:40, and this, that, and, she's the whole night. She had to plan till like 1 o'clock in the morning like that to hit like 7 places.
So you're the gas, she's the brakes.
And I said, you know what? I said, all right, that's fine. But in my mind, I'm like, this is not gonna work out. We didn't even make the third party. So the second party we didn't get till like 10:30.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I go, yeah. She's like, I think I overplanned the night. No problem, baby. I still love you.
That's cool. Though.
She's to the, and most of the time it kind of hedges with me, so we make a good pair. Because I'm going like hell.
Each other.
Yeah. I'm going like hell. And she's like, why don't we just do it this way, like this? Yeah. So.
My wife's the same way.
Yeah? How long you been married?
We'll be together 16 years this year and celebrating. We got married in, 10 years married.
10 years?
Yeah.
Damn. Congratulations, dude.
Thank you. High school sweethearts. 2 kids.
How old?
My boy is turning 7 in September, and my daughter's turning 5 in October.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, so she wants more. I'm like, all right, hold on. Hold on.
Do it now, though.
Yeah.
Right?
We gotta, we'll get them out.
How many more she want?
I think she wants like 2 more at most. I'm an only child, so I'm like, give me 12.
Damn,
and she's one of 9.
Oh, so she's like 2.
She's like, stop,
dude. 4. That's a power play on a hockey team.
Yeah, I'm all.
Come on, dude. You got to fill the court. If you're gonna go 4, you might as well go 5.
Yeah, we're getting there.
A good buddy of mine's got 3 daughters under 3. Your face is priceless.
Wow.
Their face is the same exact face that I gave.
Wow.
I go, damn, bro. What? Why?
Did you even wish for a dude?
Yeah. That's what. And with my son, we waited till he was born to know the gender. That was a lot of fun.
Cool.
Yeah, kids are
something, man.
Dude, I always wanted, I knew I wanted, and I had an accident, and I couldn't for a long time. And that was pretty cool. I ended up being, short story, or long story short, I guess, is I knew I couldn't have kids because for like 7-8 years, I got tested every year because I get a physical every year. Mm-hmm. So I'd get tested, and I got in an accident and got sick, and I got put in hospital with a super high temperature, like 105.2 or something. Wow. Yeah, it was crazy. It was a long time ago. And this big old black orderly, I remember him looking down at me. He's like, "You're a lucky boy." I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. It was 106. We pulled a sheet over your head.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. 13 bags of room temperature IV fluid to cool me down.
What?
Yeah. Crazy, right?
That's insane.
Yeah. I still got stuff from it. And that was back when I was early 20s. You could like see my skull. Because back then, you're young and you're invincible. So I get sick and I'm like, it'll pass. And I get, I'm still sick. And my girlfriend at the time she's like, "You don't look very good." And I was like, I'm fine. It'll pass. And my throat swelled up, so I couldn't swallow anymore. And then that's what took me to the hospital.
That's intense, man.
And then when they couldn't I had a Jeep at the time, and they couldn't get me out of the Jeep. They had to come out and put me in a wheelchair and roll me in. You could see my skull. You could see my my shoulder blades and my clavicle, and it was fucking nuts, dude. So when I was in the emergency room, I found out this after because I was completely out of it with a fever that high. You're not with it.
Yeah.
But there was a shift change because I was in there quite a long time because they couldn't figure out what was the matter with me. Because they're like, "We can't give you an ice bath because you're probably going shock. We can't do this because of that. We can't do this because of that. By the way, we still don't know what's the matter with you." The one thing I do remember is they flipped me over and they put that thing on my back, like that scratch test to see if you're allergic to something. Mm-hmm. I remember that. That's really the only thing that I remember about it. And then my girlfriend at the time said a doctor came in for a shift at the ER. And she goes, like in passing, like he was picking up a donut. It was just giving room temperature IV fluid and kept walking. Everybody's like, "Oh, well, why didn't we think of that?" I do remember when they plugged it in, like half my body was numb because it was so cold. 72 degrees against 105. My temperature did come down by then a little bit.
Yeah.
But I was still like 102 or 103. Wow. So, of course, it fried everything in my body. And again, I still have some stuff going on from it. But it made me sterile.
Wow.
Right? So I get a physical and the next year, and I tell the doctor about it. And he goes, "Did you get tested?" And I said, "Yeah, I got tested." He goes, "You should get tested every year." And I was like, "Can you explain why?" He goes, "The body will take care of it because it wasn't drug induced or it wasn't chemically induced. It wasn't surgically done. It was kind of quote unquote natural." And I didn't think none of it. Right. So every year, because I went back to the same guy where I was living every year for physical. He's like, "Hey man, you going to get tested again?" "Yeah, sure." But after 7-8 years, I'm like, "What the fuck am I doing?" It just got depressing.
Yeah.
And it did drive me to do some things that I probably wouldn't have done because I'm like, "Fuck it, I can't have kids. Why not? Fuck it." And made some life decisions that weren't the healthiest thing in the world, right?
Yeah.
And so I went about my life and I met my current wife. And when we met, I said, "Hey, just so you know, I can't have kids." We talked about it. Years later, she goes, "Why don't you get tested again?" I was like, it's kind of disappointing, especially now I got this fucking gangster of a wife that wants kids. And, you know, I was fighting with that, you know, okay, what happens if it comes back and I can't, you know, what's that going to do to my relationship?
Right.
So I was battling with that for a little bit. And so I go get tested, get a letter in the mail. Yeah, you're good, dude. What? They mixed something up? They mixed something up? The fuck is this?
Must have been a feeling, man.
Right? And, excuse me. So 3 months later, I go to my physical. Same doctor I've had he retired last year. So, but up until then, for 6 years, I've seen him. And I go, hey man, good to see you. He's like, what are you doing here? You know, that was his joke with me. He's like, you're the healthiest guy in my practice. Why are you even here? I go, man, I just want, you know. I go, by the way, man, I got this letter, and I explained the situation. He didn't even look at the letter. He goes, yeah, it's normal, and threw the letter away like nothing. And it's the same. I look at him. I go, the fuck. Dude. Well, dude, what? He goes, oh, yeah, it's common. And I said, how you can, explain this. Now, I'm going to completely dumb it down. I mean, he went into 6-syllable words for 20 minutes. You know what I mean? But he goes, your clothes, the car you drive, the house you live in, what you do for a job, all that shit. You know what doesn't fucking care about it? Your DNA. I go, okay, I'm following you. I'm a pretty smart guy. I get you. He goes, what are you on this planet to do? In your DNA, down in your savage roots, you as a man, what are you here to do? I kind of like look at him and he leans in, gives me the lean in, you know, he's like, reproduce? And I go, oh, well, yeah, of course. Yeah. You know, and he goes, you're a healthy guy. You don't fight diabetes. You don't fight cancers. Your blood work's great. Been great for 5 years. All that's good. He goes, so now your body goes, we ain't got nothing else to do. Why don't we go back to what we're supposed to be doing? Yeah. And he goes, they fixed it. Nice. He goes, it's common. I still, sometimes I go, did my shit get mixed up? And then my wife gets pregnant. Obviously, you know, I've heard the jokes about, you know, she can get pregnant other ways and all that bullshit. But, you know, we got a good relationship and he's a kick-ass dude, man. So now I got
he's a big deal.
He's a big deal.
He's a big deal.
He's a big deal.
Coming from what you had to go through.
Yeah, I like telling that story for going back to what we were talking about for a little bit of inspiration, you know, because I gave up on it. I was never going to get tested again. Because I'm like, for what?
And then she encouraged you.
She encouraged me, you know, and she's fucking amazing. My wife's just a rock star. But going back to what I said earlier, too, it took me probably 3 weeks to go get tested. I battled every day going, what's this going to do if it comes back negative? How's that going to...
In your head?
In my head and all that. Not necessarily in my heart because, you know, we have a great relationship, but... It would have affected it somehow. It had to have, right? Because even before I got tested, we were walking out of our apartment building one day, and my wife does not have a belly. She's fucking skinny and fit and all that. But she pulls up her shirt and like sticks her belly out, and she's a professional belly dancer, so she knows how to do that move. She's like, you need to put a baby in me now. And I was like, all right, fuck, I got to go get tested. And there was some pressure there. You know, I had to deal with that. But it turned out all great.
Turned out to be a good pressure.
Yeah. And then she did the bump app or whatever that is. It follows her cycle, right? Yeah. Right? It tells him when everything's going well. And I remember this day. I remember it like I'm sitting here talking to you. We came from somewhere. We were driving, and she's sitting in the passenger seat, and it's like on a Wednesday. And she goes, oh, hey. She holds up the app.
Time to go.
And she goes, for the next 4 days is the best time. And of course, what do I do as a smart ass? I like crack my knuckles, I stretch, and I'm like, all right, dude, let's get this on the road.
That's fun.
We had a great weekend. 9 months later, man, the little dude came popping out. So literally shooting out. The doctor had to catch him. Yeah, he like twisted because he popped out and he like caught him and twisted. He's like, whoa, he came flying out. Here he is. So, yeah, now he runs around.
Any plans
chase him.
for more?
Fuck, that's how we got this conversation started, huh? No, we
Throw it back, Walt.
yeah, no kidding. We had a lot of conversations about it, but with our age and stuff like that, we said, you know what? And people are like, oh, he's got to have a brother or a sister, and I'm like, do you know how many single kid, only childs there are out there that do just fine, man? It's okay, you know. Right. But when we went on vacation recently, he was messing around, and Val looked at me and was like, man, if he had a brother or something running around with him, I go, oh, I knew you were going to say that. So I don't know if it's going to happen or not, no, but I plan on shutting it down on my end, closing the factory.
Yeah.
Surgically this time.
Okay.
Not the other way. Because my wife, she's just real conscious of what she puts in her body. Mm-hmm. And she don't want to do like birth control or invasive surgery to tie your tubes. The doctor was like, well, if we remove your eggs and tie your tubes, it'll cut your wrist down for cancer. And we talked about that. And then she just said, I'd rather just leave my body the way it is. And, again, she's super healthy. And her doctor's like, you eat like 1% of the population eats, so I'll take that bullet, because what I do to my body and what I've done to my body, that ain't going to do any difference to me, dude. So I'm okay with that.
Cool.
Yeah. 4 kids, huh?
Maybe 12.
Maybe 12. Okay. So wait a minute. By the time you get to 6.5 million people that you've met, you're going to have 8 kids. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? What was we got it? You 50?
I'll put a 50 on.
All right, bet, dude, bet. Get it out now. You just want me to hold it for you? But you guys own your house, so you got
yeah,
because we have an apartment. And again, we're looking for a house because with the little dude, man, it's got to be in a house.
Yeah,
you don't have to. There's plenty of people that live in an apartment but we have the ability to, and we want to. Get a home and build something for him, and
that's cool.
Have him run around. Especially on our vacation, we had this big farmhouse, and the way he just loved
his eyes,
running around in the space and just going out the back door into the yard, and he was just
There's something to that.
Yeah, that's why I grew up too.
Yeah.
My wife grew up that way too. Your wife from Jersey?
Yeah.
Damn. Oh yeah, high school sweethearts.
Yeah. She lived some time in Puerto Rico. She was born and raised here.
Oh, okay. She Puerto Rican?
Well, Puerto Rican and Italian.
Oh god damn, bro.
A lot of spice. Yeah.
So you're the calm one. She's the
Spitfire.
Yeah. Good for you.
It equalizes.
Hell of a cook.
Yeah.
Oh, my wife's Korean.
Yeah.
Hell of a cook.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. I like that. I can't cook to save my life, dude.
No?
No. I probably wouldn't be sitting here if I had to. Well, I would, of course, but it'd be on McDonald's and frozen pizzas.
Yeah, I've
or the roller grill. There's a question for you. You eat off the roller grill?
No.
Do you even know what that is?
I have no idea what that is.
Those hot dogs like at 7-Eleven on the roller grill.
Oh, no.
No?
You've got one of those?
What?
Do you have one of those?
No, but when you're out on the road and you're out and about during the day and you want a snack and you go into...
Yeah, I learned my lesson.
I
learned my lesson.
Enough said. You want to go into detail about that, or?
Well, what I'll say about it is that, like, whenever I ate something, especially when I'm out meeting people and exhausted, I had this habit of just eating whatever.
Sure.
Every time. Just destroyed the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Nope. Started eating healthier. Started eliminating garbage from my diet, and just started eating cleaner and cleaner and cleaner.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, 100 pounds later, still have my strength. I'm like, that's good. That's awesome. So,
you lost 100 pounds?
Yeah.
That's like a person.
That is a person. That's my wife. My wife's a $110.
Oh, mine's $125. We just weighed her. We just weighed because we got a battery in the scale. We wanted to see how much my son weighed.
Yeah.
he doesn't weigh enough to activate the scale. So I got to weigh myself and then, you know, pick him up and put him on there. But you lost 100 fucking pounds?
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, man, it was a big deal. I used to power lift back in the day, back in my late teens. Well, teens onto late teens. I've been 6'2" since 15. So I've always been this big, always had this weight. Then I lost all of it. I lost all the muscle mass and gained it in fat. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, this has got to change, man.
Yeah, that's a classic thing with as soon as your metabolism's RPM starts to drop a little bit,
you're like,
I can't eat like I used to.
My horizontal. What's happening? So yeah, I dropped. Yeah, I was like 319. And now I bounce between like 220, 230.
Damn, good for you, dude. Damn. How long did it take you?
With no exercise, it took me about 2 years. 2 years, just modifying what I eat.
I was going to say, it's all in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's what
that's all it is.
Yeah. It cracks me up. I'm a self-proclaimed gym rat. I love going to the gym. But if I change my diet just a little bit, it would be a whole other ballgame. But I enjoy Ben & Jerry's. So
I enjoy all that stuff too, trust me, but I got to do it from a distance. Like,
okay. All right.
Like it just, I still miss the taste of everything that I used to eat, but I'm like, it just doesn't hit me correctly anymore. Like
what was the hardest thing to give up?
Pizza.
Oh, man. That's a go-to for me.
Pizza, my turkey provolone hoagies, man, that was my shit.
Damn. From like homemade or from a
homemade, or I grew up in Elizabethport, so there was this like little dinky Portuguese deli.
Of course.
Fucking best turkey provolone sandwiches I've ever had in my life, and they were always huge.
Yeah. Of course, you got to eat the whole thing.
Eat the whole thing.
Absolutely.
3rd grade onward. I've always been this tall, you know. So yeah, giving up that stuff. I don't drink sodas anymore. I'll occasionally have, you know, like a ginger ale or something, or we'll make some soda if we need to carbonate a flavored beverage.
Right.
We make most of our stuff, you know, from scratch.
Yeah. Well, having a Italian wife.
Yeah. You know, and I just feel better. Nothing hurts anymore.
Oh, you know yeah. Carrying that kind of weight around.
Yeah, and I don't get sick anymore.
Speaking of that, I was lifting. I got big. I was at 285, and I was at like 14%. And I went to the doctor, and he's like, "You're morbidly obese." And I go, "Okay, I can see that because if I get on a scale," but I go,
"That's what the numbers say."
Yeah, I go measurements and stuff, and he goes, "Weight is weight.
Yeah,
your body's got to carry it." And I go, "But a Ferrari weighs the same as a Camry. There's a difference in the performance, dude." See, you know,
it's a fair way to look at it.
Yeah, and he was as big as around as he was tall, so it's.
Yeah.
I understand the whole doctor thing, but yeah, that one bothered me a little bit. But going back to what you said, though, I mean, I dropped some weight. Because I just weighed my son. I'm at 260 right now. Cool. 6 foot, but I feel good. Yeah. Bounce right out of bed. I chase him around, you know, and I tell people I like to exercise and keep up with that. And a great example is we went to a park that we've never been to before, take him to, and there was a rink, an outside rink, hockey rink.
That's cool. In Jersey?
In Jersey, right, exactly. That's what I said. And I was like, this is cool.
Wait, where?
Glenridge.
Okay.
And so my son's playing and stuff, and some guys started to congregate, and they had hockey gear.
Oh, that's cool.
And I was like, oh, man, I used to play a lot. You know, I used to play a lot. Yeah.
Played?
And I go, what's going on over here? And he goes, yeah, orange ball, just street hockey, but in the rink.
That's cool.
And you just go dressed like we are right now. You know, there was no pad. You know, some guys wore a helmet. Some wore shin pads and stuff like that. And he's like, you want to play? Absolutely. He's like, we got both side sticks. You know which one you want. So I got. And my wife goes, you going to play? I go, yeah. She goes, how long are you going to play for? I go, fuck, dude, I have no idea. You know how long it's been since I did this? And they went hard, dude.
Yeah.
And I played for about 20 minutes, and I saw my family kind of just kind of hanging around, and I didn't want to leave them hanging. But just like the perfect example, you and I could go out right now and shoot some hoops, and we wouldn't even bother me a bit.
Exactly.
You want to go for a 5-mile hike? You want to go for a 10-mile bike ride? No problem. Let's go. You know. And then when we were on vacation, of course, we had a baby gate on the stairs in the house that we were in, Airbnb. But the way it was an old farmhouse, so the way it was built, the baby gate was kind of weird with the steps in the doorway. And I'm carrying him up to go to sleep, but I got to step over the baby gate. But it's hard to explain, but it was just kind of really awkward to step over. But I'm like, this is why I like, perfect example. If I was 320 pounds, would I be able to do this? No.
So they put things in perspective for you, the kids.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You still chase yours around, right?
Oh yeah. They tackle me every day.
How long ago was it that you weighed that much?
This must have been 2017, around there.
Okay.
Yeah.
What made you like? What set this fire in you to lose that weight? Did something specific happen? Like you see a picture of you, you know, and you're like, "Fuck, I gotta lose." Look at that fat bastard.
Yeah, I've fluctuated over the last decade or so with weight. And I think it was when I did the Comic-Con run for the project where it knocked me out for like a whole 2 days or something, or whatever it was.
Were you big at that point?
I was bigger.
Okay.
Yeah. I had just started modifying my diet and starting eliminating some of the stuff. You know, I had discovered that I was lactose intolerant, so I'm like, I struggled with that for a bit.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
You know? So that kind of kick-started the whole weight loss thing for a permanent position in my mind.
Okay.
Like, because when you're in your 20s, you're like, oh, I just knock it off if I want to. But I didn't realize how big I was. I was just blind.
Well, you never do, right?
You never do. And then you look back, you're like,
holy
the fuck is that?
Yeah.
What are you?
Yeah.
And that's how I looked at myself. And God bless my wife. She didn't care. She just, I love you, do this whole thing. But I needed to, you know, get healthier, especially when the kids came in.
Oh, yeah.
So my son was born 2015. And around that time, I'm like thinking, I want to be around. I want to be able to run after these kids. And, you know, I'm keeping to my word.
Yeah,
you know?
Good for you, dude. That's awesome.
We walk every day as a family, you know, a couple miles. And then they're always charging right at me because I'm the dad that they get to tackle.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a lot of fun in that regard.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, just...
And that's our job, right?
Yeah, right. Like
you can hit us, beat us up, punch us, whatever.
Yeah, but I
push you right back.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do the same to him though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go to
I launch him.
Oh, dude, there was no. Oh boy. So I got in a little bit of trouble. We go to a little gym. You ever see those?
Yeah.
And they're, for people that don't know, it's a franchise, but it's basically all the pads and stuff that you would have in a for gymnastics, and it's smaller for little kids, right? And he's in the birdie class, which is up to like 25 or 30 pounds, certain age, and then they go up to the beast class. But so him and I, and there's these pads everywhere, right? And he's 1,000 miles an hour. As soon as we get in, he's gone. I just let him run around. But he loves it when I chase him. And then I come up, and he'll look over his shoulder, and I'll come up and I'll scoop him with my right hand, like right in the front, so his belly and his is on my forearm, and his head's like on my shoulder. And I do this huge sweeping overhead with him in it, and I just slam him. And I'm standing up, and I just slam him on these pads, and he just laughs and rolls over and giggles and wants to do it again. The lady that... the work there, when we were done, she goes, I just want to let you know that you made some parents very uncomfortable the way you were treating your son. I go, okay, thanks for letting me know. I'm going to do it.
His face?
I'm going to do it again next week. So, but that's our go-to thing in the house.
Yeah.
He's got this thing where he wants me to chase him down the hallway into the bedroom. And just as he gets to a certain point by the bed, he kind of stops, looks over his shoulder, and giggles.
Waiting.
And that's when I slam him on the bed, and he laughs and giggles. And, you know, but same thing, man. I don't hold nothing back with him.
No.
No, he's not made of porcelain.
I think it toughens him up. I do the same with my daughter, too, and she eats it up.
Yeah. You
Eats it
got
up.
it. Yeah.
You know.
But are you the disciplinarian or your wife?
I am.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I have to be. My wife, you know, she's... But then she gives them whatever they want. And I'm
okay.
like, fine. You know. But I always tell my wife I'm 2 seconds away from laughing every time I'm disciplining my kids.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Because
yeah,
I'm
me
like,
too.
My poker face has gotten better throughout
Okay.
the years. But, you know, they're kids. They're going to destroy shit. They're going to do what they do. I never chalk it up to being mischievous or evil or whatever.
They don't know any better.
You're just figuring your shit out. And me as a dad, I'm like enjoying watching that. And I'll step back and let them just fuck around and destroy shit.
Yeah, sure.
Why? Because can you figure out what you did wrong, or can you figure out how to fix the issue? And I'll step in as a reinforcement. But, you know, she tends to be the yelling one. But when dad walks, you know, you hear daddy's chair roll from the office and you're like,
oh shit. Oh, damn it. Well, the one thing I like to do is as soon as I get home and see him, you know, my wife was there and he's there. He comes running up. And he's 17 months old at this point, at this time of recording. And I talk to him just like you and I are talking. I don't talk to him like a baby. I talk to him like an adult. He comes running up, and of course I squeeze and kiss him and hug him. And then my wife calls it the dad hold, where you're just like this, and he's just hanging there.
Yeah.
And he's looking at me, and I go, did you listen to your mother? And he kind of like looks at me, and I go, you always got to listen to mom.
Right.
Whatever mom says goes, you know.
That's important.
Yeah, I just got it. That's the way I was raised too, you know.
Yeah.
My mom was a disciplinarian.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. She was a judge, jury, and executioner.
My mom was too. Yeah.
But my wife now, there's no way. I love her to the end of the world, dude, but there's no way that she would be the disciplinarian. She's like, no, don't do that. No, don't do. I go, what the hell are you doing? Well, I don't want him to do that. I go, hey, man, don't do that. And he's like, and runs away. And I'm like, see, that's what you do.
Just scare him a little. Yeah.
Man, congratulations. You look great, dude. I would have never guessed you weighed that much.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah. And that's an everyday battle, huh?
Not so much anymore. I'm so regimented now.
Okay.
Like I'm very, like I don't think about much. However, that being said, if I do veer off the path a little bit, I kind of veer off the path. And
There's no kind of, right? You're just,
you know, and then I'll indulge, you know, I'll binge for a couple days and then I feel like shit.
yeah.
And I'm right back on. So being able to switch that back on and off is...
Yeah, but when you fall off and binge, do you beat yourself up about it, or you just get right back on the path and keep moving
just get
forward?
right back
Yeah,
on. I don't spend too much time beating myself up. I just acknowledge like, hey, asshole, stop. Be doing.
Well, also too, the physical effects that you get from it help you bring you back in the other direction, right?
I would argue that because I'm more disciplined now, it's easier to get back on that track than it would be, 5 years ago or 10 years ago.
So if I rolled a pint of Ben and Jerry's in front of you, nothing?
Nah.
Good, because I'd eat that. That'd be me.
I'd vicariously enjoy it through you, but I'm reading labels. I'm like, damn, dude. No,
speaking of that, you'll love this then. Now, very recently. So going back to what you were saying, you're trying to stay away from, like I'm on the road, and my job, notorious for people that have been in my job for a long time, they're not in good shape because
you're sedentary basically. You're sitting down.
Well, we're on the road, but you're eating shit.
Yeah.
And my route in Jersey City, there's nothing but grease trucks and roller grill, right?
Yeah.
So I have to prepare for that. And then Taco Bells and Wendy's and shit like that, right? So I don't want to eat that.
Good.
Yeah. And shit, now I lost my train of thought. But what helped me curb that was I'll take a bag I'll go to 7-Eleven, but I'll get a water and a bag of peanuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of going to Wendy's and getting a
some fries or something.
Exactly, right? Yeah. But then I was at 7-Eleven not too long ago, and I was like, okay, like a Cliff Bar. That's what I was thinking. Like a Cliff Bar, or what's the other one, the Mextrix bars or whatever they are? You know, the quote-unquote
proteins.
Right?
Yeah.
So I look at it, reading the label. I look at it, I go, God damn. So I go, these are supposed to be better for you, right?
Yeah.
I get a king size white chocolate Kit Kat. Had less sugar and shit in it than that thing did. And I was like, it's marketing, dude. Going back to what we were talking about the water, dude. It's marketing.
Yeah.
Hey, this is better for you.
Yeah.
You know? And
I was going to say, and here's why. Semantics.
Yeah. And somebody brought up, I thought it was really cool, and I've been using it a lot lately, is if you working out and keeping your furnace burning really hot, you could veer off the path for a day or two, but your furnace is burning so hot,
doesn't really affect you.
You just keep right on going, right? So same with me. My furnace burns so hot, if I eat a candy bar, right, I don't eat 4 of them a day, or drink, 48 ounces of Dr. Pepper out of a fountain machine. That's where the guys in my business, they do that kind of shit. They have them big jugs of soda. And now I love a good energy drink now and again, but I do drink a lot of water, and because the same thing, I start feeling it.
Yeah.
You
feel it quicker now.
Yeah. Everything. You feel everything a little quick, and it takes a lot longer to get rid of it.
Yeah.
You
start wondering, like, why am I healing a lot slower now?
Yeah. When I, my wife and I, the first time I ever met her, speaking of Chamber of Commerce, that's where I met her. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But,
that's odd.
Odd, right? And we, somebody introduced us, and I was going to go to the meeting just for business. I was working with Ash and the video company and stuff, and, it was somebody that we could get business out of. Well, I partied pretty hard the night before, and I've been on a bender for a while because I just separated from my ex-wife, and I was to the point where I was heavy. Your skin gets that grease.
Oh, that film
on it, and then it looks transparent almost, and you're still big, you're just unhealthy. And I woke up late, threw on I had jeans, work boots, and a polo shirt on. Didn't even comb my hair or nothing. And it was the end of November, and I do no shave November, so I let my beard grow. So I had this I'm not one of those. It would take me a long time to grow one of those like perfectly groomed beards,
man beards.
Yeah, mine just looks all ratty for a while. So I walk in, and she's like, "Hey, Val, nice to meet you." I'm like, "Hey, well, yeah." She's like, "Need to use the restroom. We'll sit at this table." I'm like, "Okay." And she walked away, and I'm like, oh, "Son of a bitch! I should have put a nice shirt on. Should at least comb my hair." And I'm doing that comb your hair like with your hand thing, and I'm trying to, you smell under your armpits, and you're like, "Fuck, dude, oh man." But that was on a Thursday, dude, and we went out on that Saturday. Been together ever since. And it reminded me of that story because you're saying your wife was supportive with your weight and your stuff. So apparently my wife saw something in me that and it curbed me from drinking, and it took me a long time after that to stop drinking, but doing other things because I'm like, she's not going to want to be around that kind of stuff. Just got healthier. And through her,
it's amazing the influence, right?
Without influencing you,
right?
Yeah. So
because you want to be better for her, better for the unit, better, and then ultimately you're like, oh, I'm just bettering myself, and my environment gets better. Yeah,
because in your mind at the beginning, you think you're doing it for her,
right?
And then you mature enough to realize that you're doing it for yourself, right? Yeah. But all right, dude, we're gonna shut this down.
All right,
dude. This was awesome to have you. Man. I know.
Appreciate you having me.
I know this is the start of a long thing. So take a minute, though, and holler at everybody. Let them know where to find you.
Sure. Yeah.
Go ahead.
If you want to follow me, I'm at Project Friends with Strangers on Instagram. And my website is www.projectfriendswithstrangers.com. And if you want to meet, send me a text. If you want to jump on Walt's podcast, call him, and he'll say yes or no.
Thanks, dude. All right, man, we're going to get out of here. Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Talk to you. All right, man. So the first thing you need to do is jump on Instagram, connect with Mark, notes, link in the show notes, follow him along because he's got cool shit always happening, and make arrangements to get your picture taken to be part of this awesome project. And that's where I'm going to leave you because I know you got shit to do, but don't forget, Live Rishi. These guys make high quality CBD product, keeps me going in a smooth way. Over at liverishi.com. Use code word table50, get 50% off. And of course, my website, waltskitchentable.com. Everything you need to know about the show. And if you want to get a hold of me, do it there or Instagram, WKT Podcast. All right, man. Remember, when I say have a great day, the motherfucker is silent. Till next time.